Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at the laws of logarithms in section 1.5 and how to use them. So the first law, law number 1, is called the product law. And it says the log base b of the product x times y is just the sum of the log base b of x plus the log base b of y. So what does that mean? You should always think about logarithms. You should think of them as exponents. So the log base b of a real number, it just means the exponent you have to raise b to get that real number. So the log base b of x is the exponent you raise b to get x. The log base b of y is the exponent you raise b to get y. So suppose x is b to the m, and suppose y is b to the n. So when you multiply b to the m times b to the n, you're just getting b to the m plus n, right? You're just adding the exponents. So that's what the product law is. It's just the product law for exponents in disguise. And the second one is similar. That's the quotient law. It's the quotient law for exponents written in terms of logarithms. It says the log base b of the quotient x over y is just the difference, the log base b of x minus the log base b of y. The third one is called the power law, and it's the same as the power law for exponents. It says the log base b of x raised to the r is just going to be the product r times the log base b of x. So it's saying you're multiplying exponents. In terms of laws of exponents, it looks like this. B to the m, that's x, right? X is b to the m, raised to the r, is really just b to the m times r. It's the same law. All right, let's look at how to use these. We're going to do this example. We're going to find the exact value of log base 8 of 60 minus log base 8 of 3 minus log base 8 of 5. So first note that exact means we're not using a calculator. If you were to use a calculator or computer, you would get a decimal that goes on forever. You'd have to chop it off. That's no longer exact. We can use algebra and laws of logarithms to get an exact answer. Also notice log base 8 of 60. What does that mean? Log base 8 of 60 is the exponent you need to raise 8 to get 60. Well, 60 isn't an integer power of 8. It is a power of 8, but not an integer power. So 8 to the 1 is 8. And 8 to the 2 is 64. So log base 8 of 60 is somewhere between 1 and 2, probably closer to 2. But we're not going to use a calculator. We're going to use algebra and laws of logarithms. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you could use the same laws in a different order, and it doesn't matter. It's totally legal. You'll be doing it correctly. Okay, so you don't have to do it exactly the same way I do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a minus sign from the second and the third term. So I'm going to write it as log base 8 of 60 minus log base 8 of 3 plus log base 8 of 5. That's just algebra. Now, inside the parentheses, I have a sum of two logarithms, same base. So I can use the product law and combine that into a single logarithm. So let's do that. I'm going to have the log base 8 of 60 minus the log base 8 of 3 times 5, or 15. That's the product law. And now I have a difference of two logarithms, so that looks like the quotient law to me. So I'm going to combine them into a single logarithm, the log base 8 of the quotient, 60 over 15. That's the quotient law. And now I'm just going to simplify the fraction. 60 over 15 is just 4, so I have the log base 8 of 4. Now, I'm not done. I can keep going. 4, I can rewrite that as a power of 2. So let's do that. Let's write it as 2 squared. So I have log base 8 of 2 squared. Now I can use the power law to take the exponent 2 and put it in front of the logarithm. So it's 2 times the log base 8 of 2. That's the power law. Now I'm not done. So remember, 2 is really a power of 8. Because 2 is the cube root of 8, I can rewrite it as 8 to the 1/3. So let's do that. Let's rewrite it as 2 times the log base 8 of 8 to the 1/3. Now I can use the power law again. Let's pull down the 1/3. So 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. So we have 2/3 times log base 8 of 8. That was the power law. So now, notice log base 8 of 8. What does that mean? It means the exponent you have to raise 8 to get 8. Well, that exponent is 1. Log base b of b is always 1. So now I just have 2/3 times 1. So I've got my final answer is 2/3. That's exact. Fractions are exact. Decimals often are not, unless they are finite. All right, so that's how to use all 3 properties of logarithms. And just keep in mind always, logarithms are just exponents, so you're really using exponent laws. All right, so that's it for laws of logarithms, and I'll see you in the next video.